So we've just started one of the walks that I do for my coaching walks. Never thought about camping here, but this is called Chepstow Wood, not too far from Chepstow, strangely enough, quite close to Tintern, St Albans. It's in their area, beautiful part of the world. A little bit out of breath, ringing backwards and forwards doing some of the video. You don't really think what you need to do to get the clips walking backwards and forwards, however it is. The route is fairly easy to start with. We've got a fairly gravelled path, so suitable for buggies, wheelchairs, things like that, and it's probably used for cyclists as well. So fairly steady walk to start with. Easy, lovely weather that we've got. Let me just see if I can get some of the, oops, wrong way. Sun shining through the trees there. And what we do on this walk is basically follow the edge of the wood, right round the edge. So we go right round the edge of it, we go towards Itten, up to Devorden, back round again, and back to the car park. So let's walk. So we're just going up a gentle incline now, still sort of loose gravel, soft gravel, small stones, basically a decent path on the feet. It's about 5-6 degrees outside temperature wise, so not too bad for walking. All I've got on is a t-shirt, a very light fleece and a windproof, and I'll probably take the fleece off as soon as we're at the top of this, because I'll be getting too hot. But lovely path, just turn round, gorgeous views. And it's lovely walking in woodland like this. That is, it was a 10-minute drive from where I live. Obviously, if you want to go for a walk closer to where you live, let me know, we can sort that out for you. And I mentioned I was going to get a little bit hot, so taking this little light fleece off, probably put my bobble back in. This fleece is literally really cheap, great outdoors, regatta, so nothing expensive. You don't need to do anything expensive with clothes on when you're just first starting out. If you're going to do sort of the big Welsh mountains, Pennyvan, Cadair Idris, Snowdon, and in Snowdonia, and a lot of walking around the Brecon Beacons, then absolutely invest in a little bit more kit that's warmer, lighter, and conversely a lot more expensive. However, if you're just walking along in the woods like this, something like that is really all you need. You really don't need to spend a fortune on stuff. A little bit about my leather hat. Wearing glasses, the sun is a bit of a pain and I can't really wear shades, so the leather hat gives me that opportunity to get a little bit of shade. It's also excellent in the rain, because again, if you're wearing glasses, the rain is going to go all over. This provides a little bit of protection, and it protects a little bit of the shoulders as well, so really good with that. What I'm going to do is just shove the fleece onto the top section. I'm not going to put it inside, because what I'll probably do is next time I stop, get a cup of tea on, check the map, have a break, have some food, is put the fleece back on just to keep the warmth as well. And away we go. So a bit of a downward slope now. And all I'm doing is a nice steady pace, my normal walking pace, with about 25 pounds of kit, which is about my normal stuff that I would carry anywhere, is about 3 miles an hour. So this walk is 6.15 miles. So I'm expecting this to take about 2 hours for me, possibly a little bit longer. Well, it will be a little bit longer because I'm doing some video. Your walking pace will vary. It depends how fit you are, if we're carrying any weight. It's not a race. It's not designed to get you out of breath. It's not designed to give you a physical fitness beasting and make you puke at the end of it. It's designed so that we can have a conversation as we're walking in what is an absolutely fantastic place. I just pan round. I've got the forest right the way around me here. Absolutely lovely. And all I can hear is nature and my breathing. And that's from running backwards and forwards doing the video clips, really. But that open nature, that silence almost, away from modern noise, I found helps me think a lot more clearly. I get much better thinking, much better clarity of problems that I've been thinking on. I come to solutions a little bit quicker because of it. And the coachees that I currently have, the clients that I currently have all said the same. And along with that, there's the self-reliance, the confidence building, that they can carry the weight that they need to look after themselves on a walk around the woods and not be worried. At the car park there was only 2 cars. This wooded area is possibly 2 square miles, 1.5 to 2 square miles perhaps. I have an accident here. I might not see anybody for hours. So if I trip, break an ankle, I'm on the floor, I can't do anything, and I'm slowly going to start to get cold. The colder I get, the worse it is from a medical point of view, my health. Hence, that's why I carry stuff. So things like something to sleep in, so a sleeping bag or a fleece liner, Gore-Tex bivy bag. What's really important in situations like that is to try and get your body off the ground, so you've got a mat, a sleeping mat. Even if it's a really cheap thing from Go Outdoors, £10, one of the closed cell foam mattresses, they're absolutely fantastic for things like this. And don't worry about what people think about you carrying all of this for what is essentially a walk in the woods. It's about being safe, knowing that if something happens, you can look after yourself. And we've got a light aeroplane, not quite sure whether you can pick that up there, flying over. But other than that, due to COVID, no trails in the sky. It's absolutely fantastic. Talk to you later. So I've been walking along, not quite sure how long, doesn't really matter. As I said, it's not a rush, not a race. What I've been doing is binge watching Barbarians on, I think it's on Netflix. Roman Celtic kind of thing, based in Germania. And the first series, or the first few episodes that I've seen, it's about the Roman army under a commander called Varus getting hammered in the German forests. And it's the closeness of these forests that has brought that back to me. Let me just turn around. Historically, this is what the German forests look like. Dark, imposing. You can hide anything in there. And 3 Roman legions. So that's 1, 6, 12, I think there's 18,000 legionnaires plus support, so possibly 20-25,000 Roman soldiers and auxiliaries were slaughtered by a much inferior force, using the terrain, a bit of subterfuge by a guy called Arminius on the German side. It also reminds me of the film Gladiator, the opening battle sequence, as Russell Crowe is ploughing through the woods. Hold the line! and then all of a sudden they burst out. You see the Germans, the barbarians as they were, and it's that same type of forest that's scary, but I love it. Very, very long straight in Chepstow Park, and I think I'm about halfway along. Apparently there is some earthworks up here, and there should be, looking on the map, just past this path on the left but on my right. So let's go see if we can find them. So just come off the path, and according to the map it's somewhere, you can't see the map there, but there you go, it's over on my right. So there's a little bit of a stream thing here, big step, and that looks like it in front of me. Just be very careful about where I'm going. So yeah, so there's an obvious ditch, a couple of ditches perhaps, a ditch, space for a palisade, and then another wall, no idea. Down there looks a little bit flooded. There's a path. Let's see if I can go through the path. One of the things about walking in woods is that you really need to be careful of is that lots and lots of paths will not be marked on the map. Cyclists use them, animals use them, so if you go off the main route, be very, very careful. Take a GPS, a mobile phone with an application on it for you to map. Now let me see if I can show you. There we go. So that looks like a little stone structure, a little culvert. So that potentially could have been a moat. No idea. I'm going to go down. No idea how old this is either. Up a little bit of a steep. There we go. And oh, there's some stonework around the corner there. Let's just go past this tree. So the whole of the area, let me just go which way? This way. Swing it that way. Bit of a sort of square keep kind of area, and then just come back, and that mound there goes right the way around. That's probably an outer wall perhaps, I've no idea to be honest. All it says on the map is earthwork, so it literally could be anything, and unless you've got a map you probably have no idea that it's there. And just there, there's more brickwork, and that goes right the way along, or stonework I should say. And I'm probably standing on part of that outer wall, perhaps. I have no idea. But really interesting. Nice place to wild camp. Looks fairly flat. But anyway, yeah. What a find. One of the things that are invaluable when you're out walking in any weathers, but especially in the winter, is this. This is my ass pad, and it literally is just a piece of closed self foam. This is by a company called Multi-Mat, and they obviously make full length mats as well. And you can either kneel on it if you're going to do stuff, or if you're going to sit down. It just keeps the heat in you rather than draining away into the ground. So what I'm going to do is just kneel on this while I check into my rucksack. There we go, much comfier. and put the kettle on. I'd encourage you that when you're out walking, camping with a rucksack, you take something out, you pack all of the rest of the zips away, you don't leave kit lying around all over. It's a military thing from me, i.e. you didn't want to get attacked and you've got all of your kit everywhere and you've got to run and leave it. But it sort of comes down to that personal admin and forming a habit. So the longer you do it, the easier it gets to do. So you take something out, zip everything up, use it, finish with it, clean it, whatever you need to do, put it back away in the same place. And I do that when I'm camping as well. So if I've got a tent, I don't have everything scattered inside the tent. I use it, pack it away. I only take it out when I'm going to use it. So there, that's one thing. So my little cook set. So this is a titanium 750 millilitres pot by a company called Lixada. Another tip, you're going to get lots of little bags, dry bags, that kind of thing. Always put them in a pocket. Don't just put them down, big gust of wind, you've got plastic bags, dry bags going everywhere. First off, this little triangle thing that folds is a stand for the gas. So it helps to make sure that your gas is level, and when you put your pot on top, your water is level, a bit more stable. Harder to knock over a gas, which is obviously going to be lit near a tent or near flammable materials when it's in a big base like this. Just take everything out, put them in my pocket if I'm not going to use them. And inside I've got what's known as a C100 gas canister, and it has a screw top. These are the most popular type of small gas canisters you get for doing small hikes, solo camping, long distance ones. You can get much bigger ones, and I use the bigger ones to refill these, and the bigger they are, the cheaper they are, so it's a little bit more cheaper for me to buy a big one and then just refill these. I'm a little gadget that double-ended valve really. So first off, get this on like that. Second is my Pocket Rocket stove. This is by a company, Pocket Rocket 2 stove. This is by a company called MSR, which is a well-known brand. It makes very lightweight camping, walking gear kind of thing. So really nice. And all this does is screws onto the base like that. What you need to do is make sure it is turned off at the valve. This is just a screw valve. So just make sure it's just turned off at the valve and screw it on. Now some of these stoves, cookers, will emit some of the gas as it sort of breaks the seal and you turn it on. That's fine. It will need a little bit. Don't be a little bit nervous and just drop everything. Just keep screwing, it'll be okay. The other thing I do before then is just test it. So I'm listening for the sound of the gas. Absolutely fine. That makes sure that the gas is going to come through and I can hear it. So that's going to go there. Next thing I want is some water. So out of the rucksack I get my water, get my mug. Just enough for a brew for me. Put it away, remember. Now, inside these mugs, there's graduations on the inside in millilitres and ounces. So I've got about 300 millilitres, which is enough just to keep you warm, hydrated a little bit for a brew. So I'm going to put that to one side, put the lid on, because that will aid in keeping the heat in, getting it to boil quicker. Next thing I use is a little lighter, Bic impersonator. I don't know whether these are Bic. These are actually called Zigzag. They're just really cheap off Amazon. I think they're £2 for 5. They just do the job. You can go the whole hog and start using fire steels, and you know it's just pointless. Some of the stoves that I have also have what's called a piezoelectric ignition. So you click it, and that sends an electric spark to the gas that lights it automatically. That's absolutely fine until it breaks and you don't have anything to light your gas. So even if I have a piezoelectric ignition, I would still use one of these. So I make sure it's stable, turn the gas on, light it, and wait till we boil. So starting to boil, just to, there we go, loads of it. So I'm just going to turn it down, just to it sort of simmering. I mentioned on the kit that I use about my wind shield. The reason I didn't get the windshield out, I'm in a really secluded place, there is no wind to speak of. If I was going to use this, take it out, get the primary direction of the wind, and it would literally cover it. So something like that. As I said, there's no wind, so there was no real need to use it. The other thing that I use is my sporks. So I'm going to get one of these, just chuck that in. Take that one out. Put it in, put it somewhere it won't blow. Get my trusty bag of tea bags. Tea bag. There we go. Turn this off. Now, because I'm going to be staying here in the same place to sit, chill, drink my tea, I don't want a hot stove nearby. So what I like to do, just move that somewhere out of the way so it won't get knocked over. So I'm just going to put it probably out of camera shot. There we go. Got my tea bag. Now, I'm really fussy when it comes to drinking my tea. I like really weak tea. I don't take sugar, I don't take milk. So each to their own. And certainly for a Yorkshire guy, this is a really strange way of drinking tea. It goes in. And that's it. It literally is in that long. These Lixada mugs will keep the brew warm for a long time. They retain their heat really, really well. So I'm going to be here for a while drinking my tea. You don't need to watch me doing that. Talk to you later. So while my brew is cooling down, I brought the other cooker, or one of the other cook sets, just to show you again what's in it. It's 6 and 2/3, which one that you would want to use. It's got the same pot stand or gas stand. Remember, everything in the pockets. Lid. Now inside here I've got a little pot holder. So I'm going to use the pot holder for something slightly different. A couple of sachets of coffee, a stove, and another gas canister. Now this stove is different. Just make sure that's turned off. It's a little bit different in the way that the feet fold out. So fold out like that. And just on there, it's got a piezo electric ignition. So when I connect it to the gas, turn the gas on as a test. Yep. Now I'm going to keep hold of this rather than put the stand on. Right, turn the gas on and the flame comes up straight away. So you don't need a lighter for this one. However, if the piezo electric ignition fails, you have no way of starting it without a lighter or a match or some cruder methods. So just turn that off. Other than that, they're identical. This pot has what's called a bail. So if I'm going to be cooking on an open fire, I can just hang that over the fire. Or I can just use this just to hook it onto a piece of twigs, wood, whatever, and just leave it while it cools down, anything like that. That's the only difference between the two sets. One has a bail and the other doesn't. Both got handles, both made by the same company. So there we go. What else do we have in the rucksack? Okay, let's just move that completely to one side. Put the rest of these away. Until that cools down. This is British Army 24-hour ration pack. In here there's about 4,000 calories. That's a lot of calories to eat, even if we're just on a 24-hour walking, camping. However, they are there, so lots of different menu systems. Let me just find my penknife. close my bag up, practice what I preach. Find my penknife. I don't like to rip the bag open because what I want to do is use it as a rubbish bag. So inside here you get a load of goodies. We get what's called an accessories pack. So this has one of the sporks in there. It's got tea, coffee, creamer, sugar, a couple of wet wipes, what else? Anyway, and a plastic bag. Never have enough plastic bags. It's got a feedback sheet, so if you really want to send some feedback, you can. And we have several boil in the bag rations. So this one is Moroccan style bean stew. This one is an all-day breakfast, haricot beans, beef sausages, eggs and bacon and tomato sauce. This is a pud and it's sticky toffee pudding, chicken curry and potatoes. So loads and loads of calories there. And we have lots and lots of sachets of drinks. Soft drink type things. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's all. So we've got peanut butter. I know it's not a drink, but there we go, peanut butter. Fruit flavoured energy drink, so a bit like Lucozade or the high energy drinks that you get. We've got raspberry drink. We've got Tutti Frutti. We have hot chocolate and a cola flavoured drink. As well as that, we've also got just nuts. So again, one of the things when I talk about allergies, you need to be aware that some of these rations may contain nuts. If they do, let me know. I'll open it, take the nuts out just to be on the safe side. Or just fruit. We have a flapjacky sesame bar thing. We have something that I really have no idea. This has actually got mixed dried fruit nougat. Interesting. What are these? These have to be the oat biscuits, don't they? Yeah. Dark chocolate chip oat biscuits. Tissues for the obligatory number 2s. And tiny little vial of Tabasco sauce. Everybody loves Tabasco sauce. And that's all we've got in there. Little introduction into how we actually get these eatable. This is, I'm not going to actually cook them properly. These foil packets, by the way, this is the Moroccan style bean stew, sorry. These foil packets you can actually get off Amazon. So if you have specific dietary requirements, let me know. I'll get some of these packs sent over to you via the post. What you need to do is cook your food, let it cool down, put it in one of these packs, seal it. I use an iron, although I've been told that hair straighteners actually work. And you just seal it, heat seal it, and that will be fine for 24 hours. Obviously you need to be aware of food hygiene standards, things like that, keeping it cooked, heated, and then going cold for too long, but that should be fine. So first things, we need to be able to squeeze one of these into one of these. So a lot of people start, there's a little notch at the top, and a lot of people start squeezing it down to the bottom, that when you rip off this top bit, you've got a huge amount to try and stick your spoon into, which is why my spoons are so long. The better tip is to do it the other way. So squeeze it, flow it down to the bottom, that way when you open it, you've also got something to hold on to, and you can get a decent sized spoon in there. You literally shove it in. Don't be afraid to really give these a bit of a good push. You don't need as much water in these as you might think. So that is plenty of water there. So let me just take this out and see how much water there actually is. Give or take. So that's, looking at the inside here, that's 200 millilitres of water, I think it is. put it in. Oh, I've left my lid over there, but I'd put the lid on, get my cooker, switch it on, gas on, and I'd leave it. So once it starts boiling, I turn it down and simmer it, and then just let it simmer for about 5-10 minutes. Simmering's not going to use a lot of gas, and it'll be absolutely fine. Once you've got it, you take it very gently, because this is going to be hot, remember, out. A pair of gloves is usually advised to do these things. Your food is all in the top. Open the pouch, dig in and eat. Now, I've used these cold, they're absolutely fine. What you can do is, if you're on a long walk, take one of these, chuck it inside your jacket. It will get warm-ish, lukewarm, but it's okay to eat. And as I said, you can eat them cold. So that's how you cook a boil in the bag.